too.
What up, what up, what up? You got Big O. Got the Humble Boys coming to you humbly. And like I start every show, every podcast, I would like to thank every person that lend us their ear and their eye for sharing their most valuable commodity, their time. Um, and before I pass it to C note, I also wanted to extend to the audience, like we look forward to all feedback, good and bad. And if you like us, hit the like button and share. What's up with you, C note?
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Hustlaz in the house. What's up with y'all? How y'all feeling today out there? Coming to you live, trying to get our conversation, our viewpoints across. And I want to thank all y'all that's listening in and those who haven't come in yet. Hope y'all be entertained today.
Yeah, well, as if for the people that's been watching and listening to us for the last few weeks, we started 2 weeks ago with physical health. We had the legendary DJ Terry T, Mr. Shut Him Down. He shut the city down last night again with Summer Colors. But we had him on when he discussed his prostate cancer diagnosis. And then we connected that with last week with mental health, and we talked about depression, what is depression, the common symptoms of depression, and we talked about some coping techniques for depression. So today, just to round it out, we're going to connect the dots and we're going to talk about the spiritual. And today we're going to talk about religion. And the topic today is religion, the good, the bad, and the blessed. What you guys say about that, C-No?
Wow. Very interesting topic for today because religion covers a wide scope of different areas. And I'm just going to say wow.
Right. Well, one of the things, religion is one of those topics that I like to discuss because, in my opinion, it's not based on fact, it's based on truth. And truth is based on what you believe. And that's why we have so many different discrepancies because every individual has a different belief system. So that's why it's one of the topics that I like to discuss. But before I go any further, let me just talk about some of the common religions in the world. There are over 10,000 religions worldwide. However, some of the most common religions are Buddhism, Christianity, Confucianism, Hinduism, Islam, and Judaism. And for our community, or just in general, two of the most common religions is Islam and Christianity. And they have a lot of similarities as well as just as many differences. And what you think about that, C-No?
Well, I think with all the different 10,000 different religions, some we know, some we don't know. The religion was designed to institute a way of life. So we see that we already have a lot of different way of lives based on religion. So I'm saying when we touch into the aspect of religion, we're gonna have to go deep. We're gonna have to go. Some people ain't gonna like it. Some people may like it, but some people may understand. Some people might be mad. Some people might be happy. That's all I can say.
Well, that's the reason for why I'm so grateful for Ms. V for providing us this platform, because this platform is simply a vehicle for us just basically to express our thoughts, ideas, and opinions. And we both feel and believe that we have something to say to the listening and viewing audience, at least at the very least that will spark a conversation. So what you when you was talking about religion just now, you alluded to one of the major benefits of religion, and that is that religion provides discipline and consistency in your life. So that's one of the major benefits to it, religions. But before we get into the differences, what other benefits can you think of there is to religion besides just discipline and consistency?
Well, discipline and consistency is the most consistent thing in religion. Religion also gives us a sense of understanding or grasping of something that we can't see.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what basically what religion boils down to towards me.
Right, right. Well, that's where faith come in, and that's why I mentioned that it's an interesting topic, simply based on the fact that it's not based on anything factual or tangible, something that we can see or visible that could take you to see, like, well, here it is right here, and open the door. But it's something based on what you believe to be true, and we know beliefs are not based on facts. But yes, discipline. It also provides a level of camaraderie and socializing as well, because you always congregate, especially in Christianity. One of the common sayings is that where two meet, in my name, I'm going to be in their midst. So it's one of the additional benefit to religion is congregating and socializing with people, like-minded people. So that's an additional benefit. Can you think of another one besides discipline and socializing and being in communion or communicating or congregating with people of like-minded people?
I did want to say one thing real quick. Over on YouTube, Tanya Hanner said you didn't mention her religion, which is apostolic faith. And she said apostolic faith is in healing and deliverance.
Okay, well, I apologize for the ones that I mentioned. Maybe I wasn't loud enough, but I mentioned the most common ones. And so they were the ones that I picked out, because usually when you hear the word religion, the first two that come to mind is Christianity and Islam. And until I did my research, I knew that there was a plethora or multitude of religions. However, it wasn't until I did my research that I found out that it was over 10,000 religions worldwide. And so that was kind of surprising and striking when I did my research to find that it was that many religions. And what it did was it reminded me of how much I don't know. And it's kind of funny because all my friends, especially this guy to the right of me, always talking about, I think I know everything. So it was kind of humbling when I did my research that, to find that it was that many religions, because...
Or find out something you didn't know?
Or find out something I didn't know, let you tell it. But just back to the point about religion, Islam, there are 2 billion Muslims worldwide, and of course, we know in Islam there's a variety of different sects that fall under the umbrella of Islam. You have Orthodox, you have the Nation of Islam, you got 5%ers, you got my guy right here to me, more science. And one of the common things that there is a central figure that they call God, and God has different names. Muslims call him Allah. Christianity, they believe in the Holy Trinity, the 3 in 1. They believe in Jesus Christ, God, and the Holy Ghost. They believe that Jesus was the Son of God. And for Christianities, and I thought that there were actually more Muslims in the world than there were Christians, but something else I learned in my research preparing for the podcast today, that there are actually 2.4 billion Christians worldwide, and they actually outnumber Muslims. And that was kind of striking as well when I did that research. Can you think of any other benefits besides discipline, consistency, congregating with like-minded people, having faith in the unknown or the unseen? Can you think of any other benefits, C-Note?
No, I think you covered most of the benefits. The main thing is discipline. That's the first thing under religion. And I want to say this to Tanya and a whole bunch of other people that a lot of times your religion is not disrespected or not gone without being noticed. It's just that Christianity and Islam is the two biggest religions in the world. And he just said it in a different way, but I'm turning it around a different way. And so a lot of times, a lot of religions, they fall under different branches, or branch off of Christianity or branch off of Islam. Like my religion, more science is a branch off of Islam, but it's not the popular Islam, but it's still a branch off Islam.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, well, that's an interesting point that you brought up, that it's a sect of Islam, but it is different from the other sects. So, tell us some of the differences for a more Science American Muslim than it is for, let's say, an Orthodox Muslim. What are some of the differences?
See, some of the differences is some Muslims, they live in customs, and some Muslims live in spirituality. And see, I live under the 5-point star. That's why I wear this chain every day. It has five points on it. Represents love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. This is the reason why I represent that, because they're the 5 highest principles known to man. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you will see a star either has 6 points on it. That's for the Hebrews, the Jews, stuff like that. Or you'll see a 4-point star. You very rarely will see a 5-point star, because that represents the 5 highest principles known to man.
Appreciate that information. That was a lot of information, but you ain't answered my question.
No, what was your question?
My question was, what's the difference between a more Science American Muslim and an Orthodox Muslim? Do you guys pray 5 times a day?
Yes, we do.
You do? Okay. Do you guys do you pray in the same fashion?
We don't pray
as an Orthodox Muslim.
We can, but we choose not to. But and a lot of times the difference is in religion is the prophet. So it's who you following. The teachers is under the prophet. Which prophet you follow? Okay.
So what prophet do more Science Americans follow?
Noble Drew Ali.
Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and of course we know Orthodox Muslims, they follow the Honorable Muhammad, peace be upon him. And then we know that I apologize for that. I was great mixing them up with the Nation of Islam. Their prophet is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Right. And so, well, since we some of the differences that, just to recap, some of the differences is that, you know, they pray, and even with Christians they pray, but they don't pray like, you know, like Muslims pray. So one of the common threads with religion is that they pray, and that they have a God that they pray to, and that they congregate, and that there's a level of discipline that they have to institute, you know, to be a follower of that particular religion. Can you think of any other differences between you guys, more Science Americans and Orthodox? Do you guys shave your mustache and paint your beard orange?
No, you don't have to really. That's a custom. Customs do not alter the nature of truth. So what I mean by that, just because you look a certain way or dress a certain way, don't mean that, you know, it's changed the truth of what another person believes. Mm-hmm. But that's why I say some people are the law of Islam. Like I look at the Sunnis as the enforcers of Islam. Mm-hmm. I look at the Moor Science Temple as the spirituality of Islam. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you got different sectors and different beliefs. Now, I think that when we was praying, that the prophet said, Allah said that I'm gonna send one to you, amongst you, from you, to save you. Mm-hmm. And so that's why we believe Noble Drew Ali was sent. He was born in 1913 in the state of North Carolina. Mm-hmm. So we believe that he was sent from us in the United States to save us.
Okay.
Because we are of American descent, speaking English.
Okay.
And he sent Muhammad for the Arabs because they came for the Arabs to speak in Arabic.
Okay.
And that's the difference between the Moor Science Temple American and the Sunni community.
Yeah, but what you did was you did identify another common thread, despite the religions having different gods and different prophets. You did identify another common thread in the religions. But a point that I wanted to bring up is like it's sort of kind of with I know you're familiar with Dr. Umar Johnson.
Yep.
And that was one of the issues that that he brought up or expressed about Islam, especially the Sunnis, the Orthodoxes, that they take on a lot of the traditions of the herbs. And what are your thoughts about that?
I believe that customs, when if you living by customs and going by the Quran and living by the Quran is cool. Don't get me wrong, because your belief is your belief, my belief is my belief. And so a lot of times, customs ain't gonna never alter the nature of truth. It is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Because I don't allow myself to grow a beard, doesn't mean I don't follow the Prophet Noble Ali or Islam period. It says as long as you believe that there's one God, there's no other God but Allah, may have 1,000 different names, but as long as you bow down and submit that you put nobody before Allah, then you're a Muslim. We are all born Muslims. We just don't accept that we're born Muslims. But in Christianity is the Bible was given to us by our slave masters to keep us passive. And what I mean by passive is we couldn't read or write back in them days, so they gave us something. They gave it to one person, which was so-called house ignorant. I ain't gonna say the word because I don't believe in saying the word.
Yeah.
My religion don't allow us to call each other the
Even
N.
use the word?
Right. Our religion say we refrain from using the N word, the black word, because we know black means death according to science. So we know that anything black is dead, died.
Mm-hmm.
We don't believe that we black, we believe we olive skin. Because olive go from the darkest of the dark to the lightest of the light.
Mm-hmm.
And so we say we olive. We don't
Okay.
say we black. And we don't say the N word.
Okay.
Because the N word is a river that contains black water. That's what they name people after, a river that contains black water called the Niger River. That's the word where nigger came from. So a lot of times people, they don't know they're using words, but words are very powerful, and they're using words that they don't know about when they be calling people N's, my N. There's no way to dress up a word, the N word.
That's such a derogatory
Right.
word.
So my religion teaches us not to talk about that word.
Yeah, and he did serious about that. I apologize for my disappearance real quick. Got a little choked up. I think that was a lot. Tapped me on my shoulders, telling me I better be telling the truth. So he choked me up a little bit, so I had to get myself together. But I'm back. Humble Boy's Head. And today we talking about religion. We talking about the good, the bad, and the blessed in regards to religion. When I came in, I heard C-Note discussing the N-word. And, we hear it a lot. We've taken that term from slavery and made it a term of endearment. But that's a show for another
so
Monday.
Unfortunate.
That's a show for another Monday. But we want to bring it back to religion. So tell me, growing up, did you grow up more science?
Let me tell you my journey. My father was named Reverend David Clark.
Okay.
So he was a pastor pastor or reverend, whatever it may be. And he kept me in church every day, all day. From 8 in the morning to 8 at night.
And what religion was that?
Christianity.
Okay.
And he tried to enforce it on me so much that I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was I started to rebel from Christianity based on the fact that somebody tried to put it on me. And I was at a young age and I didn't know about it. So you couldn't do nothing in my house unless it was Christianity with my father. You couldn't listen to no music. You couldn't go out and play. You couldn't do nothing unless you was going to church.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain age, when he went Christianity.
Right.
So he was a pastor, a Reverend David Clark. So that rebelled me from religion. After that, when I went to prison, I was looking for something to make me settle because I was moving around in a radical state of mind. Mm-hmm. When I mean radical state of mind, you're searching for the truth. Mm-hmm. Because your soul is really irrational, so it's looking for something to get into. And I was bouncing from religion to religion to religion. And I stumbled on the Moore Science Temple of America. Mm-hmm. And by me stumbling on the Moore Science Temple of America, it was teaching me how to be myself and was teaching me like 365 degrees of knowledge. That's how I became the person I am. It made me whole. See, when I went to different religions, they was only teaching about their religion, and they was telling me that it is what it is. It's what the Sunnah say, the Quran say, the ayat say, or whatever it is. Don't question it. If it's written, it's so. Well, in the more scientific America, they tell us if I tell you something, don't listen to me. Go research and come back and tell me when it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what I like. I like to find out for my own self. I don't want you to tell me that it's raining outside and I go outside and it's sunny.
Right.
I don't want you to say that you pissed on me and I go out there and it's raining. You see what I'm saying? I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth, and I don't want to know why. Not saying that y'all's not the truth. Nobody's not the truth. Not saying Christianity ain't the truth. Not saying that the Sunnis not the truth. Not saying the Shiites not the truth. I'm just saying we all have some of the truth. But I'm trying to say we need to share our truths together to get the complete story. Because all the books was written by who?
Man.
So what we have in common, what man has in common? They say we believe. Okay, so you saying you believe, then belief is what man believes perhaps to be the truth. It don't mean it's the truth. I believe in Christianity. That means I believe that perhaps this is the truth.
Right, but it's not factual.
It's not factual.
No,
man wrote it and man subject to error.
All of them are, because we, like I said, like I alluded to earlier, we don't have like when we try to convert somebody to our particular religious preference, we don't have like a door we could open and something they could reach out and touch and say, see, here it is right here. This is what I was talking about. Other than, the things that we go through now, like for instance, Muslims say that Islam provides them peace. Christianity say that that God sent them the Holy Ghost to be a what? A comforter. And what does a comforter do? A comforter provides peace. And so again, despite the fact that it's different religions, we found another common thread that there's a comforter involved with religion. One of the issues that I have with the different religions is that at the end of the day, what it's designed to do is to bring us together, but it actually it creates petitions against us, petitions between us. So if I'm Christian, I'm dogmatic about Christianity, and I don't want to hear anything that you guys say about Islam and the Quran, the Bible, and Muhammad. And it's the same way with Muslims and with Christians. Like, we got the all-knowing truth religion. We don't want to hear anything about Jesus Christ, the Holy Ghost, and none of that stuff about the Bible and so on with the different perspective religions. So it creates, despite the fact that there are common threads between the different religions, it creates a petition or a divider amongst us. For me, just to, since you shared about your personal religious journey, for me, mine started off similar as well. I was a single parent household, and my mom was like, back in the day, they called them a warrior. She was a warrior for Christ. She was a true missionary. And I, like you, went to church 7 days a week. It was something to do with the church every day. Choir rehearsal, usher rehearsal. I used to wonder why we had to do usher rehearsal. I mean, all of them, all they did was put their gloves on, one hand behind their back, and then they strutted down the aisle. What did you have to practice there for? But they did. And so, like I said, I, like you, I went to church every day with my mom, and I got to the point where I was resistant to as well. It was just too much. Anything that you do too much of creates an imbalance, and it was just way too much religion for me. And when I got to the age of 12, then my mom, as opposed to her telling me I had to go to church, she was asking me, did I want to go? And of course, I was telling her no. Nah, I ain't going to no church. Now, once I got the opportunity to say no, I had so much church in me by the age of 12, I ain't think I was churched out. I ain't need no more church. And so off I went to prison. And one of the things that in prison, in the old jail, the sides was divided. So you would have people on the north side that would never see people on the south side. So one of the ways that you were able to congregate.
That was because of religion.
No, it was separated
Okay.
because that was the jail.
The jail was
But
separate.
what one of the ways that you was able to congregate is by going to the religious services.
Okay.
So when you went to the religious services,
Everybody come together.
everybody come together, the north side and the south side. So
Regardless, okay.
for me, I went to all the services. And to be quite honest with you, my primary reason or purpose for going to the services was to congregate and see friends that I would not normally see because we were on different sides of the jail. However, that took about 5 or 10, maybe 15 minutes. But we in there for an hour. So me, I always made good use of my idle time. So after my initial whatever with my friend, whatever we did, that 45 minutes that was left, I listened.
You listen and you get the
I
word.
listened, no matter what it was. There was Christianity at that time. It was the Nation of Islam, and it was, of course, on Friday, Juma, it was the Orthodox Muslims. So I have a plethora of information about all of them because I listened that extra 45 minutes in each one of the classes that I went to with my primary goal is just going to congregate with a friend that I didn't sleep on that side of the jail with. And so for me, I don't choose one particular religion, but like my man C note, I believe that there is a creator that created us, and I give thanks and gratitude to the creator when I open my eyes in the morning, and I live my life based on faith, and I just don't employ some of the traditions that the different religions employ. Like I pray, but I pray wherever I'm at and however I need, whenever I need it. So I could be driving, I could be standing, I could be washing dishes, I could be cooking, I could be in the tub, I could be taking a shower. So I don't need a specific time to pray. I don't need a fajr when sunrise. I don't need a sundown. And that's not to take anything away from anybody else's traditions or religions or how they pray. I'm just sharing my personal preference on how I view religion, and I'm sharing my personal preference on how I pray. And the common thread is that we all pray, and the common thread is that we all employ faith, and the common thread is that we all believe. It's based on what we believe, something that we can't see, something that's not tangible. And so although they are different, those are some of the common factors of religion.
So real quick, over on YouTube, there's a lot of conversation going on, and I'm unable to get to it. Real quick, I'm gonna say go from left to right. YouTube, eBay is really agreeing with a lot of the things that you have to say. Hey Tim, thanks for tuning in. Guns, drugs. I'm not even sure what the name is, but it's pretty long. But thanks for tuning in. But over here on YouTube is where I'm coming in with the undecisiveness. So Miss Tanya Hayner has a lot to say, and I've been missing it because I didn't want to cut you off. But the most recent that I can get to now is she was saying that you were talking about different things about ushering, about the Bible, and she was saying about blessings and the welcoming for. She was saying different religions, but it's only one. It's different religions, but it's only one God. And then something else she said prior to that, she said it's called the welcoming team now for the new pastor. And she had a whole lot of things to say. I'm wishing I can get her email so I can bring her up on the screen because she has a lot to say.
I guess they got 8 days they got to go now, so now they got the welcoming day. It was already 7 days when I was going, so they added a different section for Chris. They got the welcoming day. Well, we appreciate all your comments and your views that you express, whether you agree or disagree.
Right.
That's what the platform is for. It's It's open dialogue. It's open discussion where we share what we know. You share what you know. It's our opinions. We know in a joking manner what they say about opinions. Everybody got one, and they usually what?
Some of them bigger than others.
Yeah, they're bigger than others, and some of them stink.
Oh, she said Tell Clark is his sister.
I know that.
Oh, Tanya, you say you know that.
I want to shout out to my sister, my big sister Chubby. I want to shout out to my sister Tanya. So like I did before, and my main man Robert Garrison, my man Slicky. But I want to say this, right? If you know that there's but one God, then we all got that one thing in common.
The one thing in common.
So,
because
but the
we
other things that
pray
fall out under after that one that we know that there is only but one God is where the divide come in. See, in all our life we have always been in the divide and conquer mode. See, society has found a way to divide us from each other so we don't like each other. So if you don't believe what I don't believe in, then I ain't gonna speak to you. I'm not gonna help you because you're not a Christian, you're not a Muslim, you're not so and so and so and so. And that's the way they can keep us passive. Because if, like they always say, they got, Christianity, 2.5 billion?
2.4 billion.
2.4 billion.
And Christians.
And how many Muslims?
2 billion.
2 billion. So 2.4 and 2 billion. And we got together, we got 4.4 billion people coming together for one common goal, one collective.
one collective reason.
We couldn't be stopped. So what happens is, if they put something to divide us, we could never come together to unify to make ourselves in a better place. Because you saying, I don't believe in your idea because you don't believe in what I believe in thinking mentally.
Right.
So that poses a question then. So
I want to
in your opinion,
a chance.
so in your opinion, is there a room for compromise between the different religions where there can be a unified front despite the fact that we have these, because they're basically traditions.
Right.
That despite the fact that we have these different traditions in our religions, that actually creates a petition between us where we could be neighbors and not be unified. Because I'm a Christian and I'm a Muslim, and so is there a common ground for compromise where they could work together on a unified front? In your opinion?
Well, my opinion, right? Religion was the best thing instituted to man. And it also was the worst thing instituted to man because of the divide.
Mm-hmm.
It was the best thing instituted for man because it gave us discipline and a way to live profoundly and have morals and principles.
Right.
But it gave us, now when we say morals and principles, we get principles mixed up into a concept of, if you don't believe my principle, then your principle is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But your principle may not be wrong, but you've got to respect other people's principles too.
Absolutely.
And so if we respect each other's principles, then we can come together under one banner that there is but one God but different beliefs.
Okay.
And so if we come together with one God under different beliefs, then we can get a lot of things accomplished. But since we have used the divide, as you said,
Mm-hmm.
this is how they control the mass of people.
Right.
But if we didn't have the divide, how could they control the mass of people with the money that we have?
Yeah. And not to get off the subject, because
I was going to say I wanted to jump
because I
on
know
this.
because I know that we
You
talking
too.
about religion, but during the civil rights era, they got this classics picture with all of the the big sports heroes at that time, when it was Muhammad Ali and what's his name, used to play with Philly, the big man.
Tyrone Clark.
No, not get out of here. But anyway, at that point in time, even Malcolm X and Martin was starting to come to, starting to find common ground. And what they were trying to do is they were trying to come together to actually overcome the very questions that I just posed to you now. Like, despite the fact that we have different principles and ideals, we got the same goal. Like, we fighting for our people. We want better for our people, but we just have different points of view on how this gets done. So how do we take our different points of views and find common ground where we have a united front, despite the fact that we have different beliefs? And that was one of the things that was Martin, Malcolm, Jim Brown, that they was trying to do at that time, and that was the reason why the CIA, J. Edgar Hoover, did what he did.
Right.
She looks a little frustrated over there.
Yeah, because I'm missing
got
a
a lot to
whole.
say. Go ahead.
I'm missing a whole lot, and I want the viewers to understand. I'm trying to get to your comments, but I'm just a producer. They're not gonna listen to me if they don't want to. This is their show. But definitely shout out to my guy Dennis. That's my dude. Tonya had a lot of points to hit on. But as the comments roll up, I can't really get to them because I'm getting all screens. But the last thing that she said was, as long as you keep your heart right, all religions can work. She had another one about foundation. Hey Dre, she had another one about the foundation of things, and I missed it. I wanted to read it. Tony, I'm gonna try to stay on top of your comments because she has a lot to say. I want everybody to understand. If you send me your email address at timelessjmh@gmail.com, I'll email you a link and add you on the screen, and you can say your part directly on the show. You don't have to be waiting in the comments because this is their show. They want to hear what you have to say. That's why they're here giving you their point of view. Also, I did agree with her on something, and I said that I agree with her about, and I said, as long as your heart and your mind is pure, who can divide you from whatever?
Let me say this.
She said a house can't stand without a foundation.
Let me say this, right? A lot of people, imams, pastors, reverends, and so on. I hate to say it, but you say the good, the bad,
And the blessed.
and the blessed. They could be a blessing to us or a curse.
Yep.
Because just like Farrakhan, he had a Million Man March, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was in prison October 16th, 1991 or 92, 93, something like that. Might be 94.
I think it was 94.
But they had a Million Man March.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the unification of that call?
Mm-hmm.
And I said that to say this, that sometimes people have followers that would follow them to the end of Christ, or the end of the world, as they may say, or ever. But they use their following in the wrong way. When they go and come across them podiums and have their followers, they don't teach them the unification. They teach them separation. And I say that because they're saying that if you don't follow the Sunnah, you don't follow Christianity, you don't follow Islam or so, then you're going down the wrong path. And so you look at me and say, I'm a sinner. But we all sinners. Even
that kind of goes back to what O said when we first started the show, that everybody got something that they're going to follow. Either you're going to follow this and be a one, or you're not. Like, to me, my mindset is whatever your belief is your belief, but believe in something. Because if they can bring forth the Million Man March, but we got a million homeless people, y'all could have did something about that. I know a lot of people who love and speak upon, Jamal Bryant. I hate to just throw the name out there, but it's a name that comes to mind when I think of this kind of situation. And he could get people to say, actually get other members to pay other members' bills right in the church. Somebody in there with no shoes, you can get them to go and somebody come right up and give them some money for no shoes. You can do all of that to get a popular service and get your service on TV, but we can't do nothing about getting the homeless from under the bridge.
But you see the power of man, though. The power of man can get a flock of
so
people.
So that's what I'm saying. Regardless of your belief, the fact that you can make, because I cannot be a leader of any faith, but Miss V can get on here. It's your girl, and people gonna listen. You get what I'm saying?
I got a different point. I got a different point of view.
Let me read Tanya's comment real quick. She said,
"I said a lot today, but go ahead."
Yeah, I have. She actually said a whole lot, and I haven't gotten to it. I'm gonna read just this one, and then I'm gonna be quiet the rest of the show for you all. She said, "I left a church I was at for 8 years because I don't play about my salvation."
All right, but just to pivot off, and it's ironic because both of you guys, like when he commented on the Minister Farrakhan. Number one, the minister has reached out to Christianity and other religions. You'll see the minister with some Jewish rabbis, so he has reached out to other religions and trying to create a unified effort. And I'm not trying to defend the minister because I'm not in the nation, but that's just information I knew, and maybe he didn't know that. But the minister has reached across aisles in different religions to actually try to to provide a unified front, to help his people. and to speak in regards to you, in regards to Jamal Bryant, maybe you didn't know that he is the cause of the reason why Target stock is down, and a lot of the negative publicity that because they're actually doing against Target, they're doing a boycott against Target. And since
it's been a few months.
It's been a little longer than a few months.
Well, I've been
because
noticing
now,
for a few months.
Because now that they dealt with Target, they can move over. I think they can move. I think he said he can move to Dollar General now, because there's a lot of Dollar Generals in our community, and they're not doing anything for our community. So, and this just highlights some of the difficulties. You know, when we talking about the different religions. Because of course it's always easier, and not to say that y'all was saying anything negative about the two leaders, but it's always easier to comment something or to highlight something that could give a negative connotation, as opposed to but both of them have been doing just as much
dynamic things.
Yeah, and one of the things that I do is, and I don't even I'm not even really a Jamal Bryant fan. But, I mean, we gotta be even keeled, and we gotta be honest and transparent, even in our opinions and our preferences. And I know for a fact that that's the reason why Target's stock is down.
So
it's because of the boycott that he started. And if you pay attention, he's going after Dollar General next.
All right, so I don't want you to take anything I'm saying in a bad way. I'm not saying that he has not done great things. I honestly started off saying I have seen the man just by word of mouth do great things just because of his belief, and he stand firm on his word. He give you his word. He teach the word. He make examples of the word, and people follow, just like the whole thing with Target and what's taking place with Dollar General. I'm with you on that. What I'm saying is also, if you can do a mass deception on Target and Dollar General, we can do a mass communication of school, of back, getting children educated, getting some of these jails demolished and turn over some other things. If you got the mouth to say, don't go to Target because this, and that, in the world, don't go to Target. Do you know how many great things you can bring us together no matter what? Because it's everybody. It's not just his religion that's not going to Target. Everybody stopped going to Target. I mean, it's been all over the place, this whole So he made a powerful movement with that whole Target thing. I had people come in and did interviews about not going to Target. So he made a powerful impact, but I'm just saying, punch back with what I see my next generation coming with. Punch with that. Punch me with that, and then I'm impressed.
I want to say this before we start back, because Big O, he really solidified our point that we were saying. I was saying that not the bad things they were doing. I was saying that how powerful words are and that man can be. And if you got that kind of power and that kind of momentum, then you can use it for better things. That's all I was trying to say. And what I was trying to say is, like, don't get me wrong, they use it for some things, but they don't use it for the most important things to me that affects my life and my family life and my generation life. And so when we generate our money to people or donate our money to people, we want it to be a cause and effect. So I bear witness that he stood on that podium and said that he's going to make sure that every man adopt a prisoner. Or he's going to make sure that every man adopt a prisoner that came to Million Man March, so that he can, because he know at the time that we was locked up under the so-called war on drugs, which was an illegal or one might say a mass annihilation of the black man. And so what happened was, he knew it was a mass annihilation of the black man, and he knew that he had the power, but he couldn't do nothing up there, but he had the people behind him. And so we know when they wiped out all the men from 1984 until year 2001. They came in and they did a mass movement. For 1 gram of crack, you was getting 30 years. I went to jail for 40 years with no drugs, no telephone conversations, no money, no transitions, just a word of mouth.
You're getting off topic.
Listen, I'm making a point.
He making a
Okay.
point. He making
I'm
a
making a
point.
point. You stay on your topic, I'm stay on my topic.
I
Now,
hear
what I'm
I hear
saying
the
is
point.
this. He had the power to change an injustice. Like people now is in jail, that you can change injustice. You saying it's religion? We're talking about religion because you got a lot of brothers that's Muslims, Sunnis, Christians that linger behind them walls that love you and follow religion to their death. So they need a representation.
Yeah.
This is where I'm going. I'm not going about jail. I'm just saying jail is jail. But I'm saying religion, when you see it wrong to your people and you had a power, then you gotta stand up for it.
That's all I was trying to say.
I don't think it's.
I just think
I don't think there's no greater warrior for our people than the minister. So
And-
I definitely disagree with that when we talk about doing better. I mean, but that's your opinion and that's my opinion. I don't think there's no greater warrior out there for our people than the minister right now.
He's a great warrior. I'm not gonna take that from him. He's a great warrior. I'm just saying that with the power man has, not the minister. We ain't gonna put it on the minister. We talking about we got different leaders out there. We got billionaires out there. We got millionaires out there.
Yeah.
We got athletes out there that has an opinion but won't use it.
but won't use it for us.
Okay.
You know why? Because they taking self-preservation as the first law of nature. But they thinking self-preservation mean them and their family. But self-preservation mean a generation in whole
Of people.
of people. So like they say, as long as my family cool, I'm good.
And that's the only thing I was saying. I wasn't trying to knock him as no type of as a minister that he
But
is. I'm just saying if you got that kind of power, like I always want to do, go everybody talk about what we want to do. All right, but what we doing for the young people? Because in about 15, 20 years, these same people that y'all talking about, they so bad, they off the chain, they this, that, and that. They are going to be running for a mayor, and they can't even read a book.
don't have no
Tell me what you're
knowledge.
doing for them.
They don't have no.
Because if you ain't guide them nowhere, don't keep coming in here getting on topics about young people if you got the voice. And I only use those two people because those are two names I have seen have humongous followings. Do something about it. That's all I'm saying. Do something. Real quick over on YouTube, Dennis said, I agree. Oh, the minister is our greatest warrior. So all I'm saying is, what the warrior supposed to do? Does he defend or not?
I think with the spirituality.
Didn't see anybody going against
I think with spirituality and religion, I think that if we institute it right in the youth, I think it'll give them a way of guidance. But what happens is now, once we just preach separation in the households on religion and different religions, we teach selfishness. And once we teach selfishness, I think that's where the problem begins. But if we have a knowledge of religion and understanding and discipline, as we started off when the show first started, and religion, I think it'll go getting back on topic, Mr. O.
Yeah, because y'all went way outside.
Okay, it's on you.
Start talking about
I don't think the billionaire part was different.
Billionaires,
But I think
we talk about religion. We ain't talking about the billionaires.
When you say religion, I think about that, like,
that's a whole nother topic.
because how many people tithe in the church because they feel like God is going to bless their funds and all those kind of
We
things.
ain't gonna talk about no tithes. We ain't talk about no tithes.
Oh, okay. No.
Please don't. Let's
No,
stop.
please don't start.
Please don't, because we fought last week about that.
Yeah. So okay, let's get back on topic. Let's get back on topic. So tell me, since you know me, what do you think that we can put out there to in the religious frame of mind to help us make us a better person or better people as in the whole?
Say that again.
What do you think that we could do out there as far as religion to make us a better person in whole?
Religion is individualized. That's why it's based on what a person believes. And you just, what a person has to do is they define what works for them. Like, it don't work for me to be labeled a Christian. It don't work for me to be labeled more science or Muslim. it just works for me just to understand that there is a being or creator that's greater than me, that created me, and I need to give gratitude and thanks each morning when I wake up, because that's the only part of the day that I don't have any control over.
Do I have to have a religion?
Huh?
Do I have to have a religion?
No, you don't have to have a religion. You just say, I don't have a religion. I believe in God. I don't have a label. I don't. It's not
So
Christianity.
do you believe that some supreme being or something wakes me up every morning?
I just said that. Yeah, God.
I know you just said it, but
Yeah.
I want the multitude to know. Do you believe in it?
Yeah, of course I do. I just said that. I just don't employ the different traditions that the religions require you to employ to be a part of it. So I don't need nobody to tell me to pray 5 times a day. Some days I need 5. I need to pray 5 times a day. Some days I need to pray 50 times a day, and sometimes I need to pray 500 times a day. So I don't need a religion to tell me how many times to pray. I don't need them to tell me how many rock cuts I need to do. None of that. I understand that there is a creator that's greater than me, that created me, that I need to give thanks to in the morning when my eyes open up, because I know I didn't do that.
Did you know religious started out praying more than 5 times a day? You know they were praying 100 times a day?
Even at 100, I don't need anybody to tell me
No,
how
I'm
many
just saying.
times. I don't need nobody to tell me how many times I need to go and have an intercession with my God, because that's my God. So I don't need anybody to tell me how many times I need to go to my God. I'm gonna go to my God as many times as I need to get what I need to get by.
Did you know praying? Did you know meditating is listening to the Lord?
Meditation is a form. Prayer is nothing more than a form of meditation.
So that's when
They
you're
one and
listening.
the same.
Prayer
They
is
just-
when I'm talking to
Again,
the Lord,
I'm
and
just-
meditation is when I'm listening to the Lord.
They one and the same. I mean,
I'm
it's
saying-
still communication with Allah. So I don't understand your point. I don't have to employ.
I'm not
I
trying
don't have to employ the different customs and traditions of a particular religion to understand that there is a creator that's great. That is a force greater than I that created me, that I need to give thanks to each morning when I wake my eyes, when I open my eyes.
And that's what I do. Every morning I wake up, I thank Allah for waking me up. I thank Allah for looking out for my family and friends. And I thank Allah to continue to bless me. And I bear witness to him that there's no God but Allah, and all praises are due to Allah. No man deserves praises other than Allah. Man deserves honors. So when somebody say I praise man, they doing it a little too much to me. What do you think about that?
You saying you can't praise man?
I don't praise man, I praise Allah.
Okay.
I honor man.
Praise, honor.
No, they're two different things. That's why they're two different words.
Okay. I'm not going to get caught up on the semantics of the words. I mean, I'm just not going to participate in no customs and traditions. I'm going to go to my God as many times as I need to go to.
Oh, I would like you to pray.
And
1,000 times you have to.
and I don't need a middleman. I don't need anybody in between me and my God.
True. Well, you know, religion.
I need the same thing that you
See,
do.
this is what happened when we have a religious conversation. Not saying you.
That's why
I'm
most
saying
people don't
what-
have them.
No, I'm saying that when a person don't know an answer, they get defensive. They want to fight.
Mhm.
You always notice that when a person don't have an answer to something, oh, what you saying? But if a person is found and he can stand on his 45 degrees, then he can listen to somebody else's opinion and belief and still understand where they're coming from and still and sound what they believe in. That's what I'm trying to get across to people that have different religions. If it works for you and you stand on what you believe in and nothing another person can say can shake your foundation, you should never get mad about another man's opinion. Only thing you do is listen to it, understand it, research it, and if it's different, bring it back to him and say, look, this is what I found. What can you say about it? Not to be challenging everything that you hear, because that
Just
starts
because of that
controversy
religion.
also.
Mhm.
But you want to know for yourself what belief is. Belief is what man believe may be the truth.
Mhm.
Faith is what man knows to be the truth. Now I know I've done my research and I have faith in that. That means I already checked it and it became true.
If you say so, but just on that note, since you talked about faith and research and all that, the minister said that any information that you have, that there's a duty that's threefold to it. One, you have to keep it genuine. Two, you have to research and develop it. And three, the final piece is what this platform actually provides for us, is that you have to pass it on. You have to give it away. It's not yours. It's not yours. So I appreciate the people that tune in, that listen, that watch the podcast, that comment, whether they agree or disagree. I appreciate it because it's just basically us just in a virtual environment. We just communicate
and have a conversation.
And we're gonna have a difference of opinion, especially when we have something like an inexact science when we talk about like religion, because it's not based on any facts. 2 + 2 is 4. I don't care what your language is, what country you're in, what part of the world you're in. But when we talk about religion is based on what I believe to be true.
And I want to say this: we didn't come on here to try to shake nobody's foundation or change nobody's belief or get nobody to follow no different religion. We want to make that clear. We were just having a conversation, something to shake your thoughts and make you want to think more, make you want to go do more research, or it might even make you a better person. But one thing I do know, that we do need religion for discipline and foundation. And we also need to believe that there's but one God, but Allah.
There is but one God.
You may call him Jehovah. You may call him.
The Christians just call him God. Jehovah. Muslims call him Allah. That just means God in Arabic. So that's one of the ironic things about religion, is that there's so many common threads, but there's just as many differences as well. And it's kind of ironic that you have so many differences with something that you have so many commonalities as well.
Right at the same time.
Yeah.
Shout out to Linda.
Absolutely.
I got a lot of shout outs and comments going on over here before y'all. I know we got a few minutes to go. But one thing Tonya did come back and say, this wisdom is everything. Y'all really have taught her a lot today. I can't do the inboxes right at this moment, y'all. I'm sorry. Dennis did thank me for giving you water. He said you should have got water. So Dennis, you're welcome that I gave him that water.
Because God said we had COVID.
Good, yeah, right. So shout out to everybody over on YouTube and Instagram as well. I have to say, normally I'm a person who stay away from those topics because I get passionate. Because at the end of the day, you're going to tell me what you read and what you saw. You're going to tell me what you read, what you saw. I'm going to tell you what I read and what I saw. And at the end of the day, if I go outside and my car got a flat, I'm still going to expect y'all to help me out. All I'm saying is, whatever the religion is, make it powerful enough to become one person. That's all I'm asking. I know you and I have battled back and forward about tithing and all that before, but it is in the Bible. I'll read it to you later.
But I want to say this before get in your
because he's gonna jump in my throat.
Tell you, and he's gonna actually read it for me.
Wait to see it.
But I want to say this, that you can read the Bible 1,000 times. You can read the Quran 1,000 times. You can read what you call it?
The sword.
No.
The sword is the scriptures in the Quran.
No, I ain't talking about that.
You talking about the Torah?
The Torah. You can read that 1,000 times. But every time you read the book, you're going to get a different perception.
Every time.
A different way of looking at it and a different understanding of it. You can read it 1,000 times, and every time you read it, you can read this one chapter and you're going to believe it went one way, and you read it again, the same chapter, and they're going to say something else to you. So that's what people's opinions is. We wake up today to change our mind. Our past is in the past. That was our future. Our past was our future. Our present is now. So we don't know what's going to happen in the future because we might not never see the future. But what happens is this: none of us was back there when the books was wrote.
Right.
So we don't know who wrote the books for real. We don't know what was the intent of the books for real. But whatever the intent was, we draw our own opinion.
Everybody do. Everybody take it and preach. You can preach the word exact. I can read the same thing that I heard in church on Sunday and interpret it my own way. Just like I can sit here and say, "What it do, nigga?" Somebody can say, "They actually just called them a nigga." But in my language, from my heart, it's like, "Clark, my God."
Right.
You ain't gonna accept it.
What I'm saying. And I get it. Listen, I get it because he said that in the beginning of the show. I'm just.
Offense to it.
I'm not saying
You
that.
ain't gonna accept nothing about.
Listen.
It's from my heart.
I'm not saying that he won't, because he said in the beginning of the show he wouldn't even say the word in the beginning of the show. I'm just saying, look how I can take something that you just despise so much, and I can use it, and it's coming from my heart. Like, that's my God. I'm really like, Clark, I love you, man. But you're really like, no, you just called me a nigga. Like, and you feel some kind of way. Everybody can take almost anything and use it how you want to. I can take this platform and use it in any kind of way. I can have rappers in here, gangsters in here, do whatever. But I want people here who's going to make a difference, who got a following, that can say something and can change something.
What the one thing that I find interesting about discussing religion, and I don't have a problem with discussing religion because my foundation is solid. But what I have found, and this is just my personal opinion, my personal belief, and from my personal experiences, the people that I've found that get most agitated, irritated, or a little beside themselves, for lack of a better term, when we're talking about religion, their religion, your religion, or any religion, is usually the person with limited information.
Exactly.
And that's the reason why.
Sometimes, yeah.
I'm saying from my experience.
Yeah.
From my experience,
I'm agreeing with you.
It has been usually somebody with limited information, and that's the reason. And to be quite honest with you, you could use that across the board. Usually, when you're having a discussion with somebody, they get agitated, irritated, and beside themselves. We don't get mad; we get angry. Only animals get mad. But when they get angry, it's usually because the conversation that you've had with them has reached a point where that information is gone, is limited. And you may not have much more information than them, but you have more than them. And you've gotten to the point where you still have information, but they done ran out of information, and so they don't have any other alternative but to get in their feelings.
And get in their feelings and get emotional on y'all. That's why I say I
and then
agree
they start
with
saying a bunch of stuff that don't make sense.
When your knowledge is limited, that's when the argument come about.
And I agree with you with that to a point. But some people are just so passionate about a thing.
Their knowledge is still limited.
It's a roadblock.
It's still limited.
It's a roadblock.
It's still limited.
You remember you couldn't find that what O was talking about in the Bible, and you got mad.
I could find it, but he wouldn't shut up and let me read it to him.
You got angry because the knowledge was limited, and he was going somewhere, and you was like, "Oh, I gotta find it. I gotta find it."
No, I said, "Let me get it out." He wouldn't let me talk. That's why I got mad. So what I said is, what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, it's the passion in the person. I'm not limited on the things I say. That's why most topics that I do is what I know, because I'm going to argue my point down. So I'm not saying everybody, but I do agree. A lot of people do that and put their stuff out there. That's why I don't bring religious things on the show. I don't do a lot of political stuff on the show, because really, do y'all really have the background? Do you really have the black and white on the things that you're saying, or you're just saying my opinion? If that's the case, just say, in my opinion, my point of view at this time, because it starts such a big hurrah, and it's more so passion of how you feel, and not just because they're limited on knowledge. No, because you can be passionate about a thing.
My viewpoint on that is that as opposed to them being passionate, they're emotional. And the reason why they're emotional is because the information is limited. That's just my. And I just want to say this. I just want to say this. And before I close, I'm going to say this. I'm going to give a shout out to my sister Wanda, my sister Sandra, my cousin Nettie, and those of us watching, and the people that I may miss.
charge it to my heart, not my brain, or charge it to my brain, but not my heart. But remember, a parrot can recite. That don't mean that he know what he reciting.
He just repeating what
He
you
just
heard.
repeating what he's. So a lot of times when you hear somebody that sound very articulate, and you thinking that he know everything or know the
That's
words,
how they pronouncing that or saying
that don't mean that he.
Exactly.
That don't mean he is the truth.
Exactly.
So, because a lot of times people hear people. See, one thing about our people, we love to follow and hate to lead. So we hear somebody that's articulate, dress good, walk good, talk good, we jump right behind them. And it can lead us to our destruction.
And lead you right to self-destruction.
That's why step 2 or duty 2 to any information you have is the research and develop it. And that's according to the study guides from the minister. You keep it genuine and pure, you research and develop it, and then you pass it on.
Also, tried to teach you again last night, shut it down. Mr. Shut It Down, shut it down. Humble Hustle was in the house. Yummy Food Truck was in the house. My man Big O was in the house. My sister Miss V was in the house.
She was at the house.
So y'all should have been at the house.
Everybody should have been
So-
there.
We don't want to thank y'all for tuning in.
And we'll see you next Monday. Humble boys, humbly.
All right,
We
y'all.
out of here.
Peace.
They getting ready to go, but I'm just trying to wrap up a couple more y'all answers real quick.
Okay.
I'm typing fast as I can. All right, y'all. I'm gonna have to go because they're wrapping up. So that means I have to go. Thank you. Any inboxes, I'll get to them in a minute. But everybody
Don't
on the
take nothing
post.
personal.
Yeah,
It's all in love.
it's all in love.
Love is the first. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The 5 highest principles known to man.
Cause me and O gonna go at it every week. But yesterday he made sure I had something cold to drink. Just like I just got up and made sure he had something to drink. So we good. Don't think that we in here beefing. All right, y'all. Peace out.
Peace
'Cause
out.
I'm still getting messages and I cannot